Hello, Libra. Thank you for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Spellcaster's Tarot by Melanie Marquis, illustrated by Scott Murphy. For the supportive oracle cards, I'm using the Angel's Answers Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. I already shuffled. First half is for relationships. Second half is for singles. There we go. And I put out the oracle cards, angel cards, whatever you want to call them, as necessary. I'm actually thinking we need one there, here. Really? Now, at the bottom here you have big happy changes. Okay. So we got this here. So this is good. The question is, are you kind of heading towards it? Do you see it coming? That's my question. As I'm pulling in, the situation, what's holding the situation where it is, you have the Empress on your side, your partner has the Nine of Pentacles on their side. I'm kind of getting like a similar energy here. Except I feel like it's like something isn't moving forward. Something's not moving forward yet. I feel like you're comfortable and happy and not really sure if you, I don't know, you're comfortable and happy. You're stable where you're sitting. You have the strength and you know what's going on, you know how to handle things. You have a lot of stability where you currently are. Your partner is ready for that move, that change, but they seem to be waiting on you to be ready. I feel like they're waiting on your, I'm getting the word compliance. I don't really know if I like that word, but hey, it's what's coming through. So basically, they're waiting for you to be in line with the whole situation. Alright, so this is where we're starting. Now, even though your partner's waiting for you to be ready, and they're ready to go forward, they're just waiting for you. That even though that's what's happening, they still have the Ten of Cups here, so they're very much, I feel like this is the secret to their patience. They're enjoying the relationship, they're enjoying things the way they are. You're feeling really good and very stable where you are, and they're enjoying that. But they're ready to go forward, but they're enjoying the moment for what it is. So I feel like that's why they're not really pushing you, is because it's still, the situation is good as is. They know it needs to go to the next level, they're waiting for it to go. They need you to be in line with it before it can happen. But they're enjoying what it is. They're enjoying where it is right now. So they're not overly pushy. How's that? Now, they're enjoying this great social time with you. I feel like it's social time with you. Like, however that is. Family, friends, work environment, whatever context that's taking on. That you're a part of this, you're comfortable with it, you're feeling secure. You're kind of reluctant to move forward because of the unknown factor, is what I'm thinking. They're enjoying it. They're happy. So they know it's going to come. It's going to happen either way, sooner or later. But they seem to be okay waiting for now. You, on the other hand, you have this, the Nine of Cups. I feel like you're looking at all these possibilities. I feel like you're looking at how things are right now. You're seeing the possibilities in the future. It's not like you're not overly reluctant. I don't know if that comes across right. You're just so happy with where it is now as well. Like, you're happy with what it is, and you're looking at it like, am I losing this? Or am I bringing this into the next situation? Like, am I going to be able to recreate this? I feel like the bigger question is, how long is it going to take to recreate this? Because you're comfortable, and you'll make the next situation comfortable too, but it's just like the work. I feel like you're looking at the situation now, like I've put it all together to where it is now, and I'm very happy with it. And now I have to go and do it again, and it's just kind of like, I've come so far, but now it's like you have to start over again, almost. Not completely, but there's that kind of feeling. Like you have to start putting in the work again to build something else up to the level this is already at. And I feel like that's why you're kind of reluctant to move on. You're just like, I've already made this what I wanted it to be. And now I have to go and do this again in a different situation. Now, how is this going forward? I love it when I sit down to do readings. All of a sudden I'm like, I have the 1,000,001 yawn thing going on here, but sorry. It happens. Every time I sit down to do readings, even personal readings, it's like, I can't help but keep yawning. I don't know what's up with that. But somebody in the comments said it's just, the spiritual energy coming through. That's how my body's handling it. I'm going to go with that. Sounds right. It sounds rational to me. So I apologize for the yawning. We're just going to say it's that. I think it makes sense. Now, your partner in the spiritual sense has the King of Swords with the compromise. My question is, can they compromise? They're willing to compromise. So what type of compromise is this? I'm feeling like the situation itself, that's not so much the compromise. Like, it's almost kind of like, I'm getting like this, if you're at the edge of a lake and you're going to go swimming and it's cold and you're like towing it in at first, and then you're up to your ankle, and then you're like, and you're just hanging out there, and then you're going a little deeper. Say you get up to your knees and you're just like, oh, this is a little cold, and you go back down to your feet and you're like, then you try again, you get out maybe up to your thighs. Like, I feel like that's the compromise. Like, how fast it goes forward, how it goes forward. It's still going to end up in the same spot. Like, you're still getting up to that dock that you're going to swim out to, but maybe it's a slower start than you were planning, or than you realized. Like, your partner's helping you hold on to what you like now as long as you can, but still moving you forward to the next spot. And again, since they have the King of Swords, they're pushing. They're starting to push, but like they're not like we have to go. They're more like, all right, well, we got to start going this direction. Like, we have to start dealing with it. And I feel like you're like, yeah, I know. And it's kind of like slowly moving that way. I feel like they're very conducive to how you feel about this. And they're still like, we got to start moving this way. And you know what? They're letting you take your time about it as much as they can. The compromise, I feel like they're not pushing you any more than they actually feel they must. But they are kind of like pushing it forward, but they're trying to be as lax as they possibly can. Okay. Your partner seems very sympathetic to your feelings here, which is good. So I'm getting like, you got two cards here is where this is going. You got Judgment in your favor and the Queen of Cups. You're feeling loved. You're understanding the situation has to go forward. It's still, even though the situation is what it is, it's not bad for you, and you're not seeing it as bad. It's just moving on from the last one. I feel like that's the situation that's the defining thing here. And the Judgment in your favor is the best it could work out, is the best it is working out. Your partner is helping that happen, helping you enjoy this as much as possible. So that's why it feels like Judgment is in your favor. Because of the care and compassion. That's why these two cards come together. You're feeling loved. You're feeling like somebody's taking care of you and looking out for what matters to you, and trying to work with you to make it comfortable for you. Like, somebody really cares. And it's popping into the Ace of Cups here for where you're standing with the Remain Positive. I feel like that might be where you are now. This is the position for that card, where you are now. Feeling extremely loved, love overflowing, and they're saying just remain positive. Your partner is very sympathetic to your needs. I just feel like if you have an open mind and you keep communication open about the subject, if you keep that communication open, you should be okay. It should be a lot easier for you. Your partner will be even more conducive to what you want. I feel like that'll flow easier. There's nothing to really fear here, I guess, is the point. Now, it's funny because I feel like this is how it's going. Your partner's conducive to what you want. You want to go slowly. Let's go slowly. Everything's good. I'll do everything I can to help you go slowly. The funny thing is, I don't know what happens, but I feel like you're tiptoeing in, you're up to your ankle, up to your knee, whatever. And you're just like, you know what? This is becoming more stressful just doing this slow thing. And I feel like for some reason, like you try this slow thing, but it's just not working for you. And you're just like, let's just do it. You got the Eight of Wands here. Like, you're just like, all right, you know what? Let's just go forward with it. Let's just do it. Your partner loves that. They feel like this is overcoming the obstacle. It's moving forward. Your partner takes your advice or does what they need to do to get this situation to go forward. Ace of Swords. In this deck, you'll notice there's a ridiculous amount of fire on there. I typically see it as an air card at the moment, but it doesn't matter. The point is action is being taken. You're saying you want to go forward. You're saying, like, you know, I feel like it's just becoming more burdensome because it's going slower. The slowness is just, it turned out they didn't feel any better. It might even feel worse because it's kind of like, you know, it's coming and it's just dragging out. And you're just like, forget it. Let's just go forward. Let's just get it done. I'm just going to, you know, dive in, freeze my butt off for like 2 seconds, but then I'm going to swim out to that dock and it's done. It's done. Your partner has some type of say in here because they're pushing it forward. They're making it happen. You say, let's go. They're like, okay, then we're gonna go. They're gonna overcome that obstacle. If there's anything in the way, they're gonna clear the path, and boom, there you go. There you go. I like the way this is going. It seems like it's going really quite favorably for you, Libra. I really do think so. Now, I'm getting the Wheel of Fortune with the Three of Cups and the no need to worry on your partner's side, which I feel this could take a few different colors. Colors? Sure, why not? I feel like the next situation starts off, or maybe it just things seem to kick off pretty quick. You say let's go, your partner says yep, let's go. That situation starts off pretty quick, and the Wheel of Fortune turns in your partner's favor. I feel like there's good social connections starting there. I have a feeling it might make you a little nervous because I feel like the social connections are starting with your partner first. Like, your partner is making these connections first, but don't worry because these connections are going to trickle over to you. Everything's going to kind of fold in as necessary. So I feel like the nervousness here is because Wheel of Fortune turns for your partner. I feel like you're inspiring a good moment here for your partner in the sense of, like, you're like, let's just go forward. Let's just do it. They are excited about that. They're clearing the way, getting it going forward. It goes forward. As it starts, I feel like they have a very positive attitude due to how you're handling this. They're feeling really good. They feel like not only are you on board, but they feel very supported. They feel like they're taking care of you at the same time and looking out for your interests. Like, everything is on lock. And I feel like they're getting social connections right off the bat. Like, Wheel of Fortune, it might not be expected on your partner's side, but they are. I feel like they're getting some social connections right off the bat. And they're saying, don't worry, these connections are going to trickle over to you in time. It just might be a moment before that happens, but these connections will trickle over to you. Okay, so I honestly feel personally that my coffee's empty. I feel that this is going really, really good for you. I feel personally like this is a good read for you, because it's like a change going. You know, there's some situation going here, but it's really not that bad, and I don't feel like you're really viewing it as a really bad situation. Just a little anxiety about the change, but when it goes forward, the big thing here is, like, your partner makes these connections right off. And they're saying, don't worry, it's going to trickle over to you. Things are going to come. It's just kind of molding together. Partner, there's a lot of love here. I feel like there's a lot of love. I feel like your partner cares a lot. I'm seeing 2 love cards on your side. I am seeing that 10 of Cups on their side, but I feel like it's an expression of how they feel for you too, though. And they're giving me a nod on that. As you can see my face nod. Okay. All good? All right. Let's go into Libra singles. So yeah, I see where that was a big happy change. That is a big happy change. That makes sense. I have to be honest, when I first had that card pop up at the bottom, I was just like, is this a big happy change? At the end, it made sense. So there you go. All right. Now, Libra singles. And I don't know if it's obvious or not, but usually when I put up the cards at first, I have to go through the whole story so they can find out what they're telling me. I don't know if all readers do that way. I'm not really sure how other readers do it, but for me, it takes a minute for the cards to, like, connect in and tell me. Like, and usually as I touch a card, it usually tells me what the message is for that. So I try not to judge a book by its cover when the first lay comes out. That way, you know, I don't corrupt the actual overall message they're trying to put out. Now let's do Libra. Libra singles. Empowering information for Libra singles. Give them some insight to help them. I help them live in a way they want to, help them know what's going on around them, to make life easy for them. Libra, singles. Alright, we'll do some oracle cards for this too. See, and I'm looking at this, and I'm noticing some cards, one card in particular, but where it is, it might not be that big a deal. Still, I'm not going to prejudge it. We're going to wait until we come to that card in the reading. I'll tell you what it is too. It's the Devil card, but it's in your mental state. But we'll see where it's coming out later, like what it wants to actually say. Because this is an empowering... I try to do empowering reads anyway. So let's find out as it comes forward. I'm kind of blabbering. I didn't even have coffee. I don't know why I'm so blabbering on. I want coffee though. I would like some. The Ace of Pentacles. It's where you're standing. Overall energy is the Knight of Pentacles. So you know what you want, and you have a certain idea of what you want. You're heading in a certain direction. Question is there somebody there, or is it just like you have the map of what you want and you're looking for somebody that's going to fit the mold? Because I feel like you know what you want. You know what you're looking for in a person. And now you're just looking to find that person. And I'm questioning, I feel like a lot of you have found somebody who meets what you're looking for. Because I'm getting, for whoever's watching, I feel like it's different for different people. For some of you, it definitely has to be a love connection. There has to be that spark. There has to be that jolt of excitement when that person enters the room. And they have to have that excitement when they see you. I feel like it could go different ways. For some of you, you're looking for somebody a little bit more stable, somebody who's more easy to get along with, somebody you can trust, someone you can build a life with. I mean, I feel like there's different things here that different people are looking for, which I personally think is fine. But this is just saying you know what you want. You know what you want, and you found somebody who fits what you want, and you're feeling good about it. You're looking for long term, you're looking to move forward, you're ready to take that step to the next level. Now, this is also defined by the past Seven of Swords. Now, one of the reasons you've decided or you've outlined what you want, and this is why I'm saying some of you are looking for like that spark, that love, that joy, because I feel like you might have gone forward in a different way, in the sense of like someone that you thought it could happen with over time. You gave it a shot, it just didn't happen. I feel like others of you actually went that way, found the spark, went with it, and then it just kind of doubled back on you. Again, this depends on you. Like whatever you did in the past, you're seeing something where you didn't like how that worked out. You've reimagined the plan, you're moving it forward, you found somebody who fits what you want, what you feel comfortable with, and you're looking to move that forward. I also have the wheel, though not the wheel, what is it? The world, if I can speak. The world is at the bottom here. You've made these changes. You've gone through some stuff. You've reimagined what you want, found who's going to fit this. The world says you're starting a whole new phase. This kind of, for me, matches the ace especially because of the circular thing, of course, but the start, the whole new start. The world is saying whatever you've done in the past, you're done with that. New lesson, new phase. So I'm feeling like, especially when I see the Seven of Swords in the past, the way you've done this before did not work out. You were not happy with the outcome. Revised your plan because of it. Found somebody who fits. Going forward. All right, if we haven't beat that to death yet. Now, what is this? Because this is where this hits, isn't it? This is where Herman hits in. I gotta stop calling him Herman. Sorry. My unwanted party guest is how I refer to him lately. Now, I literally get survival instinct with this. Survival instinct. Something went wrong in the past. You're watching very carefully, very closely, and you're looking to not let that happen again. Survival instinct, I feel, is the word they're giving here because you may be making choices based on security. I'm not getting you're very combative. I'm not getting that. I am getting, though, you're setting the stage very early with safeguards. Now, if you had a situation in the past where you had a cheater, you're setting the stage where you can not only find out what's going on with this person if you need to, but you're setting the stage where that's not a problem. Like if you show up every now and then, you're like, I feel like for some reason, if that's the situation, like you just randomly show up at their job or at occasions or whatever, but you make it a positive thing. You're like, oh, just thinking of you at work, and I thought, I have a moment, I was going to bring you over some lunch, so I was thinking of you, I just wanted you to make sure you're taken care of. If it's other occasions, like they're out bowling, you're just like, oh, I was here and I just thought I'd stop by, I just was thinking of you. No big deal, whatever. I feel like you're putting a very positive spin to it, but it is Herman the Unwanted Party Guest here. Sorry, it's the devil card. I gotta stop joking about him. I'm trying to make him a little less intimidating to people, because he doesn't have to destroy your party. He just is saying, there's something here to look at. There's something to pay attention to. I feel like the reason he's in this reading is because in the beginning you're doing this, you have a positive spin to it. I don't feel like it's a problem in the beginning. Him showing up is warning you. This behavior could get out of control easily. If you're worried about somebody cheating and you get this jealous attitude about it, if that happens, it could get out of control. I don't feel like it starts off that way, but this is just a warning. Whatever you're doing to protect yourself, it's great, but make sure that you curtail it so it doesn't define the situation. Because if I don't know why we're bringing this again, but we are. I apologize if it's drowning it to death. If you're worried about somebody cheating on you, and you don't find if you don't find evidence of that, or if you're afraid you might be, I'm just getting that you might destroy a situation before it ever has a chance. That's what I'm grabbing here, just so you know. And this is going to define the situation going forward. You are going into a new phase, so I just want you to be careful. I don't feel like it starts off negative. I know they're showing the devil card here. They're warning, and that can get out of control, and that can cause havoc in this next phase. This phase is going to hold for a while. Just be aware of it. And I do have the Three of Cups right with it, which means I feel like there's a social worry here. Just be careful. It doesn't get out of control. I don't feel like it's bad to start with. I don't. I'm like, part of me has a real inkling like it could take a life of its own. If you're involving other people in this, if you're keeping an eye on your partner through other people, that could really come back and bite you in the butt in the end. Because people get out of control. All of a sudden, you have somebody always watching your partner. That goes into creepy. I mean, just to be fair. I don't feel like it starts this way. I feel like it starts good. It's just a warning. You're going into a cycle. This is going to hold for a while. You start great intentions. It's not a bad thing. But be careful. It could get out of control. And if you have other people involved, I feel like it really will take a life of its own. Fair notice. But to start off, you're good. I hope that comes across right, because I feel like I just want to give you, because you're starting a phase, I just don't want to let it fall short. Because if you start something, if it gets out of control, it's going to define this cycle. Like a cycle goes for years, just to be fair. It typically goes for years. So I want this to be good for you. Just keep an eye open. Like, if you're nervous about this person, you think they're a cheater, you might want to handle that on your own. But at some point decide, are they or aren't they, and then just hold to it. A spot check, I know some people, they have a 4 or 5 month calendar, or they'll put it on their calendar just to remind them, just to check up, just to see, and then they'll stop in once or twice, maybe just keep an eye out, but then they'll force themselves to put another reminder out 3 to 4 months later before they do anything like that again, so it doesn't become crazy. These are people I know that they have that tendency to want to know what's going on. They have a little nervous thing. That's one way they handle it. It's up to you. I'm just worried that if it gets out of hold, I don't think it's going to start bad. That's the thing. That's the whole trick to this. It starts off very rational and it makes sense, but it could get out of control, and I just don't want it to ruin your cycle. That's all. Doesn't mean it will. General reading, just a worry there. Now, you've got the Ten of Wands with the big happy changes. Big happy changes, yeah, this is going forward. Yeah, you're getting what you want. Ten of Wands, I honestly feel is connected with the past. Yes, it's a new cycle, but the past always has its way. There's always some connection to it. The big happy changes makes me feel like you are leaving yourself a little vulnerable, but that's what happens in love. There's a degree of that, in my opinion. The past and what's happened with someone else seems to be weighing on the future because you're a little nervous it'll repeat. I'm not really seeing that to be a problem, but I feel like you're going to talk about this situation with your new partner. At the very least, I know it's a general read, but at the very least, I feel like a conversation should happen. How's that? Because I'm seeing in the environment, your partner has the Page of Swords with the compromise. The Page is usually a follower. The Page is a follower, and he has compromise going on here. The Page of Swords, I have seen referred to as a spy. Now, that being said, and keep this in mind, because you might be okay with this. You might be completely cool with this. But the Page, I feel like whatever's good for you is good for them. In the sense of, like, you want to check up on them randomly, you want to see what they're doing randomly. They're like, that's fine. I'm going to do that too, to you. Like, it's going to go back and forth, like tit for tat. I don't know if that's a good thing to say right now, but, good for the goose, good for the gander. I'm getting that's where your partner is. Again, though, the Devil card, don't let it get out of control. You might want to set parameters on how often. Like, it can't be disrupting your work. You know what I mean? It can't become like every 5 seconds, where are you? What are you doing? I don't know if you want to make it like once or twice a week is fine. Once or twice a month is fine. If you're worried, if it happens, a couple times a week, that one time, that's one thing, but don't let it get out of control. Even though your partner seems to be conducive, I feel like it's what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I don't feel like there's a worry in that sense, like they're going to catch you doing anything. I don't feel like that's an issue at all. What I feel like is it could become disruptive, in the sense of like disruptive to your career, disruptive to your social life. It could make an air of mistrust. Even though nothing may be happening on either side, that constant looking to see if the other one's doing something could create an air of mistrust. Just to be aware of it. I just feel like even though it could be a good relationship, if people are constantly looking out or constantly checking up on each other, it could just make them feel like they can't trust the other person. It could be a problem. It could just be a problem going forward. I hope that makes sense. Even though it's okay, the fact that you're constantly looking like, oh, what are you doing today? Oh, okay, well this time I didn't catch you. Like, but this time I didn't. Like, you're expecting to at some point. That can create this expectation. You can actually convince yourself there's something to find, and you keep looking for it, and you might get a little, and that can go for either side. That's the thing here with this. Good for the goose, good for the gander. Either side could end up. You could handle this perfectly. You could be fine. The other side might get out of control. I'm just saying, be careful of what you allow and what you don't allow. What's good for you is good for them, but like, if you have a rule, like, there's no checking up on each other at work, or, however, like, no more than once a month, what's good for you is good for them, and you both hold to it, that's fine. But just be careful. I'm getting that with this World card. This can be a great time for you. I want this to be a great time for you. Just be very, mindful. I feel like I'm drowning on that. I'm so sorry if I'm coming off like a whiny parent or something, like I'm harping on it, blah, blah, blah. Sorry about that. It's just how it's coming through. Like, this could be a great time for you. I just don't want to see it get tainted. Now, you got strength and temperance, and you got remain positive in your future. This is going to take some time. That past is still affecting you. I understand that. You got the strength to do this. I feel like there's going to be certain parts of this relationship you're uncomfortable with, only because it does leave you vulnerable, but I feel like it's nothing. I don't feel like it's anything really bad. It's just like ways you've left yourself vulnerable in the past have worked against you. So it makes you a little nervous, but you have the strength to hold through that. It's going to take some time, but they're saying if you remain positive, this can get a lot easier. I feel like your trust with this person is going to build to a place where I feel like it's going to be fine. Sometimes I say this for people, so I'll throw this in here. Why not? Paul McKenna is one of my favorite authors, British author, McKenna. How to Get Over Heartbreak. That may help you with that past. It may really put you in control, in the driver's seat with that, to where it's really not that hard to stay positive, and this might be a lot easier in the future than you think. Just a suggestion. Just one of those things that worked for me. So if it works for you, great. If you don't want it, that's fine. I just want to at least put it out there. Anything else for this? I feel like you got a good reading too, I have to be honest. The first part was good. I feel like this is really good. I apologize that I harped on, but when Herman showed up, the unwanted party guest, I just want to make sure he doesn't ruin your party. That's all I'm saying. You deserve a good one. You deserve a great relationship. I feel like this can happen. You got this new cycle pulling in. Let it be great. That's what I say. All right, if you would like a reading from me, go ahead and shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral at James, the number 4, astral at gmail.com, and I'll get my rates over to you. Thank you. Have a good day.